Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I wanted to talk on the time I said I was the hardest working YouTuber in Washington State. I think those were my exact words. It's been a minute since I've said that, but the thing is this, I still stand by that because, and I'm going to explain why, because I know that besides haters, there's going to be others that will hear that and then they're going to want to know why I'm saying that. They're going to want some sort of explanation and stuff. And at the time when I did say that, I was posting a lot of videos on a regular basis. And since then, I feel like that I have grown more as a content creator when it comes to, the work and all that stuff, like just overall the work that I'm putting in. Because the thing is this, I'm not going to look at myself as like a poor entertainer when it comes to content creating. I want to, and the thing is this, I know I have a lot to prove when I am making statements like that. So that's why, throughout the time I created a podcast, I created multiple YouTube channels. I got into, live streaming and stuff, and, going even harder with making music and, just finding other ways that I can, do content and stuff. But yeah, it's like I wasn't making that statement just to make it, because I know that there's people out there that'll make statements like that. They're like, oh, I'm the best rapper alive, but they have yet to, sell like a diamond record. Or I'm the best basketball player of all time, but they have yet to win an NBA championship or any championship in that matter. Or I'm the, world's greatest actor, and they have yet to win an Oscar or Emmy or whatever awards an actor is looking forward to and stuff. But the thing is this though, I don't really have a whole lot of awards and achievements underneath my belt. And that's something I think about that a lot. I think about that all the time, where I'm all like, dang, I would like to enjoy that at some point in time in my life. But if I never do, the thing is this, I can look at my statistics myself and see that I'm doing a lot. I don't know too many people out there with like thousands of videos on their YouTube, channels or channel. But yeah, even with YouTube, it's like, I don't know too many people that, they have 50 different YouTube channels and then they manage to, work on everything else, throughout. Cause I'm saying cause people want, that's one thing I feel like that some, not all, but some will say about me is that I don't do nothing. Because that was like one of the first few things I remember when I very first got into content creating. There was a group of people that was on here saying that I wasn't doing nothing. That I was just one of those. I was one of those YouTubers that they just sat and was being lazy and stuff. And I'm like, with content creating, that's one thing that I will say about content creating is that there's no such thing as being lazy. Like there's people out there where it's like, yeah, they'll do bad videos, but overall that doesn't really necessarily make them lazy. I feel like being lazy is when you have a platform yet you don't do nothing with it. That in my opinion is being lazy, but yeah, then you want stuff to get handed to you. It's not going to work like that. Like you got it. That's one thing about content creating is that you have to showcase what you're about. You have to showcase, what you overall want to get into. But I feel like that because when I look at myself, when I very first got into YouTube back in 2010, and I look at myself now, it's two different people. I was even telling a friend about this the other day where I was like, when I very first got into YouTube, I was shy. I didn't want my face to be shown on camera. I didn't want my voice to be heard on camera. I didn't want to do anything that overall involved me being involved in the video. But I remember my parents, they got me an iPad. and my voice was getting a little bit deeper. I was getting a little bit older and stuff. I didn't sound like, no squeaker, no child and things when it came to recording videos. And I remember I recorded a video and I heard my voice afterwards and I was like, wow. And it usually, it takes a lot from me to hear my voice and to be like, oh, that's me. Like that's good. I like that and stuff. Because I think it's like that with a lot of people when they get into content creating, is that they don't like the sound of their voice. That's one thing that I hear so much when it comes to just any form of like creating content and stuff, whether it's recording music or whatever and stuff. I mean, yeah, you'll have it where there's some people out there where they just kind of put that stuff behind them, but they still overall like they manage, they manage. And that's what I did. I was like, I just spent the first 5 years of me on YouTube from 2010 to 2015 to really find what I wanted to do. And then 2015, I felt like that was like the 1 year where it was like, okay, I got all of this time ahead of me. What can I do? Because YouTube wasn't even the original plan. After I graduated high school, no, I was like, fam, I was just kind of sitting around enjoying myself. And then I was like, okay, well, I want to do something. Like I gotta do something. I'm getting to that point where I'm getting older. I gotta find something. So yeah, that's why I was all like, I got into YouTube and I started doing the gaming videos. And then it was like, building just that first 5 years. And I think that's why with a lot of people, it's like when they get into YouTube and then they, just kind of push out everything just fast and they don't really like take the time to be patient with themselves, then yeah, I think that's why with some they don't really last. Because I'm like, fam, there's content creators that I know where I'm like, yeah, they were like putting out like dope content left and right, but then they stopped and then they don't put out content no more. And so that's why I was like, it definitely takes time to really find who you want to be, because it's like when you do something and then you kind of think back, I guess, like, so yeah, like when you do some sort of content and you think back and you're like, okay, well, I'm not really proud of that content. That's something I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I do feel like that kind of crosses a person's mind where they just don't rock with content creating no more. And so yeah, that's why it's like if you look and see how many channels are inactive or they're not doing nothing, or like they might do an occasional appearance, and that's why I'm like, yeah, content creating, it ain't meant for everybody, like that's one thing about it. It's like it's not meant for everybody, or it is going to take a little bit of time to like really find yourself and who you want to be and things. And yeah, it's like, there's some out there. I'm telling you, I need to either write a book or to, like just do more podcast episodes like this, because no, man, I feel like what I'm saying, it's like people can learn from it. It's just having that, having that patience with yourself on who you want to be as a content creator. And me, I knew I wanted to use my voice. I knew I wanted to, really showcase like who I am as a person and things. And that's just sitting around talking on stuff. Because I'm like, my thing is, and the funny thing is that, when they get on me about that, or they get on me about any other forms of content, and then it's like, you just see all the other people that and that's why like hate don't really get to me. Because I'm like, if you're singling me out, or even if it's like you're trying to involve me in a group of people, I'm like, do you understand that people are going to have their preference when it comes to certain things? I'm saying like, and it's funny because I there's people that's tried to like use my own words against me and stuff. And it's like, yeah, it makes sense when I'm saying it, but when you're saying it, it's like, how do you think that's going to make any sense? It's like when you're saying one way, when you're telling people to not support this content, and then you turn around and then you're trying to use the same words when like somebody's using an example on you and stuff, and then you use the same words. It's like, how is that going to make any sense? Like, how is that going to make any sense? I tell you not to watch my videos, and then you turn around, you tell me not to, you start talking about me or whatever, and then you're all like, oh, well, don't watch the videos. It's like, that's just being petty, and that's one thing about, like, with haters. It's just, they're petty people. They're going to single you out. They're going to make it seem like that you're the worst person of all time. And that's the thing, though. You're not. Like if I could just sit down and kind of just talk to creators out there where it's like they deal with hate or they're afraid of dealing with hate, fam. The thing is about haters is that they don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to be a good content creator. They don't want you to overall, achieve great heights when it comes to content creating. And I think that's why people, they tried so hard with me, because I have this thick skin and this strong mindset and this like armored out heart where I just don't take crap from people. It's like I spent my whole life, really trying to understand, who I wanted to be and understand, like, just overall life and things. And then it's like I get a clear understanding. And now I got people from all over the world trying to tell me, or not even all over the world, but I just got people in like certain parts of the world where it's like you're trying to tell me that I'm not a good content creator. So that's why I had to develop that mindset of saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm, the best creator in Washington State." And I'm honestly looking at myself. It's like I might just be one of the best creators when it comes to content creating. And I'm not saying that to like throw anybody else out the way. The thing is this: if you got your thing that you got going on, okay, cool. If not, then it's like, fam, work towards that stuff. But it's like I feel like that I've worked to a point in my career to where I can look at myself and be proud of myself. I can look at my videos and be proud of that. I can look at my streams and be proud of that. Yes, there are things that I still need to work on. Yes, there are things that I still need to do. But that's not going to take away everything that I have achieved with content creating. Because there's people out there where, and when I look at that, when I look at like, just the other day, a video that I posted on TikTok, and it got 500,000 views, and that's just like, that's the one thing where it's like, trying to, not even so much as like it's not like a mindset that affects me in content creating, but it's like it's this mindset where I think that like, it's more so like a paranoia where it's like haters are just watching every move that I make and they're trying to make everything. Because the one thing that I will say about haters is that they do watch, maybe some more than others, but they do be watching, and they try to find that one thing. Because the funny thing is that I can post like 100 videos, none of them get any views. They make sure to talk about that. I posted a video on TikTok, 2 weeks, it gets 500K views. Not one single person. That's the thing though. A hater ain't gonna talk about your achievements. They ain't gonna talk about the stuff that you achieved. They ain't gonna talk about the goals that you've accomplished and all that stuff. They only gonna want to talk on the negatives. They only gonna want, and that's one thing that I challenge my haters to do. And that's something I think I've challenged them before. But it's like, say something good about me. Make a video saying something good about me. Promote good. Promote positivity. But if not, then it's like, bruh, do you honestly think though, if a person likes my content, if a person likes my video, and I think that's why some haters are trying to make up like, lies and rumors about me and stuff. But if somebody likes they mess with my content, right? And then they see your videos and then they just see you being a hater. Do you think that others are going to just assume that haters just don't exist? Like that's something where it's like they try to put that like that paranoia, I feel like, in people where they, to the person that they're hating on, yeah, they're gonna be saying everything crazy. And then when it comes time to like own up to that stuff, they're gonna be like, I don't know what they talking about. I don't know. Like they ain't gonna want to like own up to it and things. And yeah, that's why a lot of the times, and the mindset where I'm in right now, where I'm like, it's only haters that are gonna be saying negative things about you. If there's other people going out their way saying negative things about you, then yeah, they're either they're a negative person or they're a hater, one of the two. But one thing that should always stand out is the positivity that you get. Because man, the stuff that I've heard with people, and that's why it's like it puts you in just this, this like, I'm trying to think like what's like the words I can use to where it's like it's just not kind of like overachieving, but it's like there's when they be sent like telling me things, like I've had people told me that my videos help them with their depression, like having it where there's people, they be sitting down with their families watching my videos. What are some other stuff? It's like they're having it. I remember there was like a group of like kids at this school. They were all sitting down watching my stream. Like that's something that I'll just never forget. Like I'm helping this guy out, trying to like ask out this girl at his school. But at the same time, it's like him and his friends, they're all in my stream. like sitting here chat with me, and I'm like, these guys, it's like I look at that stuff and I'm like, these guys like have just their whole lives ahead of them. They could be doing whatever they want to do, yet they want to sit and watch my stream. I take pride in that type of stuff. Like I'm not gonna look at it and be like, oh, it's just non-existent. Like I don't care about that. Like, nah, man, I take pride in that stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm like, hey, look, if you a content creator, always look highly of yourself. It's like, because I feel like when you start dealing with that positivity, like honestly, yeah, the hate's gonna always be there, because you can look at some of the most positive outgoing, look at somebody like Mr. Beast. That man is probably one of the most positive outgoing YouTubers that I've ever seen, content creators that I've ever seen, and that man be getting hate. People be trying to expose him on stuff, and it's like, bro, why can't this man just be him? Why can't this man, it's crazy how people be carrying on. But yeah, it's like, always look highly of yourself as a, whatever you into and things. It doesn't even have to be content creating, but whatever you got going on in your life, just look highly of yourself. And then it's like, the thing is this, when you do that, and then you like working on your next project of whatever you doing and stuff, it's like it's almost as if like what you're doing, even if you don't know. Like you could be getting into something for the first time, right? And when you just look highly of yourself, like you looking at yourself like, bro, I got this in the bag. Like it ain't gonna mess me up. I'm not gonna mess myself up or nothing. I got this in the bag. I don't see how you can fail in life. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.